Hello again today, and I just wanted to share this video about this recently released new game, Republican Bayonets on the Rhine. It is a new John Tiller software game, and it's a new addition to their Napoleonic series. So this game in particular covers the years 1792 to 1800s, and I kind of got this one because I don't know too much of that period of warfare, and of course I'm not an expert in this subject, and I just wanted to learn. And of course there is no better place to learn about the history of different battles than having a John Tiller game. So you can search this game, you can Google it, and you will find the John Tiller software page that I'm showing it right there. Otherwise I can just put a link into my into the description of this video. So without further ado, let's move directly into the game. Right now, right here, I just chose the Battle of Valmy, and well, I'm having fun with it so far. It's a tough one. As you know, I tend to play solo, and well, one of the things that I didn't recall, it is that the bigger scenarios, the campaign scenarios, where you get to do operational movements and operational decisions, all these scenarios, all these campaigns are available only for head-to-head. I kind of forgot about that, and I was like, oh my god. But anyway, the battles are well researched, and there are a lot of them that you can play in a solo mode. So so far so good in that department. Later on I'm going to show you some of the documents that add to the value of this particular game. I mean, John Tiller and his team of scenario makers and researchers really do a great job researching and putting a lot of information into their releases. This one is showing up a lot of information and a lot of documentation that is great. The battle description, the history, the bibliography, anything. It's like, a very well crafted content wise. This is just top notch. So well, if you're not familiar with the series, I'm sure you're gonna be in shock a little bit, because well, I tend to play or to make videos out of games that play in 3D. This one is a 2D. It has a pseudo 3D thing going on. I'm gonna show you that later. But you can see these annexes and turns type of game. The scale is 100 meters per X, and the turns are 10 minutes. Some scenarios are 15 for scenario design reasons. And well, you can see there that the icons in a very John Tiller-esque kind of way. They don't show you too much information. For this one, you see that this is a cavalry unit that is showing over there, the icon, very pixelated. Almost you have to zoom it out a little bit. That may be an issue for older folks like me, but there are multiple zooms, levels of zoom, so not a biggie. But in particular, the higher zoom in levels, all the pixels start to show up, which, these may have been okay in the 1990s when computers were less powerful or else, but right now it's kind of like and well, the icons, the the axes have different properties. In this case, we have all these fields, and we have forests, and we have different types of roads, major roads, or even some of one which are paths or trails that should be taken into consideration when planning your moves. And there is an additional level of zooming that goes like this. I don't like this particular level of zoom. I use it very sparingly. In other titles, when the tiles are less busy, this looks like, so repetitive. It looks like a quilt. This type of pattern, and it's like the background is has too much contrast. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the palette is kind of odd. So I stick myself to this zoom level and this one, and of course there is a third one where you barely can see the counters unless you're young and have very good vision. So nonetheless, there is one particular thing in this game. It's a Windows-based game, and some dialogues appears as windows, and right now I have here a dialogue window that is not showing in the broadcasting. So the reason for that, it is because my recording software, you have to go a long way to produce these to render these extra windows, because this broadcaster prefers just natural or regular game interfaces. So I cannot show you that. But what I have to tell you, it is that I am playing this scenario and I'm having a great time. And the reason is I'm using this command and control feature. Let me explain a little bit. So as you can see over here, this scenario features a lot of counters, and sometimes moving counter by counter is it takes a toll. It takes a lot of patience to be doing that. So I'm a bit lazy and so I use this command and control where you give orders to the unit, and you can give them attack, defend, or no orders at all. And that one of those arrows over there, it is for the first column of my advance guard. And you see this nice drawn red arrow over there. I don't know if you can see it. This one right here. And well, that arrow tells all these units, which are the first column of the advance guard, to attack this position. So when you click your turn or activate the AI, the computer will just move the counters by themselves. I have learned to use it sparingly, mainly in the move to contact phase. Like for instance, right here, you see that there is this engagement that is going on. We just bump it into the French. These counters over there, like this one, are French units, and well, in those cases I kind of override those orders and try to move more specifically, in particular if the location is of vital importance for the general plan of battle. So that's what I'm doing with it, and let me show you some gameplay of this particular scenario. Let me transition into my gaming window over there. So I ask it that unit, the first column of the advance guard, then I'm going to select another one. This one in particular is an interesting situation. I asked it to attack this particular position. One of the units already arrived, this particular unit, it is an infantry, line infantry, if I remember correctly. It already has moved, but you see all the units highlighted with a red outline. They're still having a hard time moving along. They kind of hit some sort of restricted terrain, and they're having a hard time moving forward. So you see all type of shenanigans going on over there. And so probably what I'm gonna do, I'm trying to kick them out and say to them, like, you know, move right there, and hopefully they will do it. And then I'm going to select this other one. This other one is having a better time. This is the third column of my advanced guard. Zoom in a little bit, and you see that this particular unit is kind of moving into well order, and there is a minimum amount of dispersion over there. Some of the units are trailing, but we hope that they are going to catch up pretty much soon. So then we have our left wing, which is cavalry. Oops, I'm sorry about that. This unit, this cavalry unit has a lot of subordinates in general. These are troop-sized units, and I'm going through them one by one, and I asked them to move right here, and they're not making such a good time, to be honest. If you compare against the right wing right here, this one moved pretty handsomely using this road that you see in the bottom. Let me highlight it for you. The unit that I'm talking about is this one. You see all the red highlights. There is one routed unit because right there, because we just came in contact with some very strong French opposition, and you can see this road that was very, very nice to have for quick movement. So that is basically my situation right there. And yet again, when you click OK, oh, that's some artillery for the advanced guard. They have a lot of guns. So I believe it's 6 per unit. Yeah, 6. So you have 12, 6 more, and 6 more. So you have around 30 guns. I just asked them to move into this town, which is called Les Magineux, or Les Magineux. I don't know, I cannot read it that. I have to set up my labels more correctly. So once you kick the OK button, which you cannot see, and I apologize for that, I was lazy to set up my window renderer with the capture software, you will see that the units start moving by themselves, which you know, helps a lot to keep your sanity sometimes, because there is a lot of counters and units to move. And also I have to add that in this particular video there are plenty of units down below here which are fixed at the time of at the start of the scenario, and you see that they're having some combat over there. It's kind of a long range fire, so it's not taking too much effect. And I see also that the you know, French columns are already a bit scared and having some hard time moving around. So yeah, I understand that this is not a game for everybody, but on the bright side, you know, if you can get past the sometimes lacking graphics and whatnot, it is a good gaming experience. right now is the only engine where you can simulate this large scale terrain and formations, and of course it's turn-based. I don't believe that any 3D game can do this. Maybe East War, Les Grognards can do to some extent, but in particular this one is the amount of terrain is just so big and so great. Of course, one wishes that, you know, the artwork, not the art for the units' portraits, which are in the top left or in the left column over there, but rather, you know, the counter art would be a bit more elaborate or a bit more indicative of what the unit is, maybe adding some factors as in other war games. That would be great. So keep tuned to my blog. I'm going to be posting some extra material regarding this, probably an after action report of this battle, and I hope that you have a very good week. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.